Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the ultimate Final Fantasy podcast. I am Joe.
I am Caleb.
And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do a little experiment. So just hold on to your butts while I tell you the stuff. You can find us at youtube.com/Ultima Final Fantasy if you want to see our old videos there. So talk to us on Facebook.com. Find us at youtube.com Final Fantasy as well. You can hear us over and over and over again in a loop for forever if you go to twitch.tv/Ultima Final Fantasy and see us do the episodes live. We try to do this every Sunday, and we try to do this on time, but there was daylight savings time, and I was an idiot, so that we are starting about an hour late today, and I'm sure I have screwed up Caleb's life and schedule, and his girlfriend's going to get mad at him because he's got places to go after Nude Clan, and so this is going to be great. It's going to be great. You can see that then he gives me a silent nod on this audio podcast. Yeah. And you can tweet me at Joseph Begalier.
Me at UFF Podcast.
And our website is ultimafinalfantasy.com. If you want to support the show, there is a Patreon link there and an Amazon link that you can click through and get your Christmas stuff, and we get a small kickback, and we really do appreciate it, and it doesn't cost you anything. And then there's also a PayPal link if you want to support us directly. Schweiss, have you revisited FF Tactics?
No, not yet. And the reason being is that I didn't think you were going to have it done by this weekend, by this wonderful Sunday. So I decided that I wasn't going to play it yet. There's no reason to. And I kind of don't think it's going to be done by next Sunday.
On a scale.
I know you're optimistic about that, but I just don't know.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how angry are you with me right now?
I'm not very angry. I don't really care. You're the one that's always like, show's going to take forever. And it's because you take forever on the games.
You're not wrong, okay? I did, however, put a lot of time into this game this week. Now, only some of that time was actually tracked in my multiple save files that I went back and forth from. A lot. I watched 2 Lord of the Rings movies, Schweiss, while grinding in this game and trying to fight some of the battles. And then another day watching Seinfeld. And another day where I just played the game. And no, I had The Fugitive on in the background on another one of these days. Notice in my Twitter feed, okay, which is now connected to my Facebook, so now I can't swear anymore on my Twitter feed. Yeah.
Why aren't you supposed to have that little jar anyways?
I do have the swear jar on my phone.
Does it not count if you type it?
Swear jar app. No, it doesn't count if I type.
But if listening counts as reading, shouldn't writing count as speaking?
You know, the people who listen to UFF and don't listen to Nude Clan, once again, Schweiss, have no idea what you're talking about.
Doesn't matter.
You can explain it.
Well, it's I had this feud for a while where they kept saying
just then, back then.
back in my younger
history.
Back in my younger days.
You don't bring it up all the time.
When I was more volatile and word Nazi-esque, that I would get onto them for saying they've read something when all they did was listen to it as an audiobook. And so in this sense, I kind of feel like writing a swear word is the same as speaking. If we're going to say that listening is the same as reading with your eyes, then should not writing be the same as speaking?
Is writing a sex scene equal to having sex?
No, but that's a different realm, though. That's going into feeling.
Well, then how is writing a swear word equal to me cursing?
If listening is reading, I think it's not
Cameron,
unfair.
Did you just raise your hand like this was a class?
I think it's not unfair to say that writing is speaking. But you're bringing another sense into this. You're bringing feel, which I don't think you can, like, write and feel it kind of a thing. I mean, maybe you can. I don't know, but I don't think writing a sex scene is the same feeling you get.
Know what?
When you
This me not swearing anymore thing was something I put on myself, and I can decide what the rules are.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both on, Cameron.
So then what about people who use sign language? Does that count?
Yeah, is that a swear?
Up to them.
What if you can't speak?
It's up to the sign language community.
Oh,
really.
Okay. The ASL community.
What does that even? What does ASL stand for?
American Sign Language.
Oh, is that what that stands for? Okay. Yeah. Well, I was thinking English as a second language. I'm like, wait.
English with an A.
The other SL acronym thing. I was thinking of something else.
Yeah, what if you flip me off? What about that? Is that a swear? Because it's a visual thing. That's like...
I'm not going to do it because I just don't want to... No, I'd probably be okay with flipping you off. I just don't want to curse, man. I don't want to, Here's the problem. The more I curse here, the more it seeps into everything. And I've been especially angry lately because I'm going to go ahead and blame 80% of it on my job. And I've had other jobs, and I get angry at those, too. Really just me being employed as an angry person.
Yeah.
So... when I have a long day and things are not going well, and maybe someone doesn't know their own GD address, okay? When that happens, I often want to scream, and did scream a lot in my car at people with a lot of expletives. And it doesn't help throughout the day.
How's that jar looking?
The jar, honestly, is not that bad. I was, after the first week, it's slowed down. I usually only have like a couple slips a week. So let me try to find.
Can't believe there's a swear jar app.
There is a swear jar app.
Actually, you know what? I can believe it. I can. I really
there's an app for that. Twice. Yeah. Average per day is 3.86. A total of 135 swears.
Those are like my third grade
but
levels.
there's like gradients of swears. So it has it in the swear jar app as 1, 2, and 5. And I just count the 5s as the F word, and then everything else is kind of in between,
depending on like inflection.
Yeah. So like the B word, that's a 1. I don't really think that's too bad. Like, oh, I want to bitch about something. That's a 1 right there. Yeah, you hear that? Bitch. There you go. And then you get the little sound with it. Now, if it's an F word, it's a 5. And at the end of the year, I'm going to times it by 0.25, whatever the total number is. So it'll be 25 cents an F word, and then whatever from then. And then I'll give that to charity at the end of the year. Whatever charity I decide.
You realize that timesing it by 0.25 is going to reduce it, though, right?
Sorry. I mean, you know what I mean.
Okay. I know that
not by 0.25, by 5. Got to times it by 5 and put a decimal point in there.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I know what I'm
going to take it and I'm going to reduce it to 1/4 of its
I will figure out the math by the end of the year.
Joe charity.
That's right. So, look, it has helped. I don't remember where I was going with this conversation, where it started. But
anger at work.
Anger at work. Yeah. I'm getting a lot done in tactics, okay? Well, I thought, not really getting a lot done in tactics. Here's where I got to last night, chapter 4. So last week, I was in the middle of chapter 3, which is half the size of chapter 4. I recognize that.
Yeah.
So at this rate, I will be done in 4 weeks. So, look, man, I'm trying. I'm really trying. I spent probably 15 hours playing tactics this week. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay? So
chapter 4 is just a little over double chapter 3.
Now, I spent 15 hours. I only have about 6.5 of those hours actually counted on my time, which is where the game is driving me nuts. It's Bounty Hunter-esque in the ratio.
What?
So if you guys have never listened to New Clan, the best episode out there is Star Wars Bounty Hunter. It's Bounty Hunter-esque in that I've had so much time sunk into this game that has not counted as time sunk into this game. For instance, I don't know, like the first 5 hours just gone. They're not there anymore of me playing this game. Twice. They're gone. There's so many battles that I've had to do 3 or 4 times, and those battles ranged in time from 20 minutes to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And they were restarts, okay? I believe that I have had, I only have 30 hours counted right now. I believe
30 hours?
I believe
Sorry, continue.
that I've probably played about 47 to 50 hours
Oh my
total
God.
in this time. And only, it's just under 30. I think it's 29 something. Only that is what's counted. And it is, this game, Schweiss, is brutal with your time. Okay? So yeah, it's taken me a long freaking time to do this. At least now I know what tactics is, so that when we play the tactics sequels coming up, there will be some precedence of, oh, I got to move my guy here and there. Cameron, who host on Nude Clan, just bought a PlayStation, and he complained to me today when I picked him up for the show. He complained about how this game just takes its fists and it shoves it right up your bumhole right at the beginning of the game. It doesn't tell you how to do anything.
Did he borrow tactics?
Cameron, you're playing tactics right now, right? He's nodding his
wow.
head. I don't know how he got it. I'll have to ask him later. I guess he's borrowed it from Caleb Craig. So,
What if he beats it before you?
I don't even want to know how many weeks it's been. I'm scared.
I beat it over a month ago, and my final time was 27 hours.
Your final
Yes.
time was 27 hours?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It was
Caleb
crazy.
Craig, I'm going to beat you.
I looked up my how long to beat time, and it was 27 hours for tactics. No, I'm serious. It's on the PS3. 27 hours. My level is not very high in that game. I didn't do any extra grinding other than like JP grind. That's why.
Yeah, so today...
Probably shouldn't have beat it. Honestly.
Today, I have a tactic you might need. And believe me, ladies and gentlemen, you might need this tactic. And the beautiful people who follow me on Twitter helped me this week. I leveled up so much for this freaking fight. And it didn't matter. It did not matter how much I leveled up. It was disgusting. So I'm going to get into that later. And also, I'm going to kill myself at the end of this episode. I feel like I have let down our listeners just so much lately. Like a deep letdown of Joe just not being there for them. Okay? I did have a couple like nice, well-planned spotlights and I think a history of something or other. So like the episodes have been happening. Except for this one. This one's not going to be one of those.
Yeah.
But the games have not been getting beaten, and especially after like a few weeks there where I was just dead, and I was getting adjusted to this job, and I didn't know how to deal with my time or lack thereof, and had to beat these games. It was just in this like terrible depression, and I said I wanted to beat these games every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And believe me, Schweiss, I still want to beat these games every 3 weeks.
Do you?
Yes.
I want many things that I will never have as well.
But I'm thinking the chapters, maybe I should look at each chapter as a game. In which case, I am on track
Yeah.
for Final Fantasy Texas. I'm sure.
Yeah, in the chat, Abrax says, we're not angry, we're just disappointed.
Look. No. I don't know. There's some... I don't want to go into it. There's too much. I don't want to get all personal on this show like I always do.
Yeah, you don't want it to be a normal episode?
No.
You did say that it was going to be not one of those normal ones this week. So
No, it's not going to be a normal episode
so
this
let's
week.
keep it out of here.
And I'll wait till our feedback before people realize why it's not going to be a normal episode this week. But Schweiss, we got some news. We got a lot of news. We got a lot of trailers for stuff. So we might as well get into those. Thank you, Shinru and Abrac, this week.
Yeah,
for
thanks,
news.
guys.
News. Okay, so first up in news. Now, you might think that I'm going to have to mute the other
channels.
Yeah, I think you're probably getting through. But, okay. So, we did a Spotlight episode many moons ago about Final Fantasy Illustrator, mostly for the first few games, mostly for the first 6 games. But he does do some work past that, and he, of course, does the logos. Final Fantasy Illustrator, famous illustrator, Yoshitaka Amano, has a little 8-minute documentary that came out. It's on the internet right now from Mana Books, I guess. And it's an interview with them, and you can check it out on Vimeo and also on the news links that Shinra's gave us. Now, I didn't know about this till this morning, so I have not watched it yet, but I will watch it this week and to tell you what I think about the new interview with Yoshitaka Amano and whether or not it sheds any more light upon the famous illustrator. Did you watch this twice?
No, okay. I didn't know it was there.
All right.
I usually don't check the news until day of because I don't know. I like to be on top of it on one hand, but on the other hand, I kind of like getting my live reaction on the show. You know, so like I'll hear stuff about news and I'll be like, "Ooh, man, I'm gonna wait and avoid that for right now."
Did you avoid this?
Yeah, I didn't know this was happening.
Okay, episode Ignis. December 13th, new dramatic trailer for episode Igneoth. So I'm going to go ahead and press play on this BR.
Yeah, let's get it on the screen. Oh, fuck.
Listen well. A king cannot lead by standing still. A king pushes onward always, accepting the consequences and never looking back.
Slow-mo. Won't let us fucking watch it on there. Episode Ignis. So we're gonna finally see what happened to make this guy lose his vision.
Maybe. This is pre that. The Titan fight.
Unless Titan was somehow involved.
Wait.
No, that's not the Titan fight.
That's not the Titan fight. It is a Titan fight.
Let's make for the altar.
Alright, so he's his freakish, speedy self.
Yeah.
Well, look who it is. What could one of His Majesty's royal retainers be
Looks
doing
like he
here?
came down the wall.
Bloody hell. I do not bow.
I can secure us a way to the king and the oracle.
Looks like what's her name, brother and him teamed up.
Yeah, there's a lot of games.
Ravis.
This is just Ignis and Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Hoped
Sorry, Ravis.
that I might
Looks
see
like
you
Assassin's
happy.
Creed in the battle.
Yeah, it does.
Burdens lifted. Free to live and love as you please.
Psych.
Oh, what good is a world that only ever lets you down? Why not get right here?
I swore an oath to stand with Noct and keep him safe. Whatever it takes, I will protect him.
Puts on the Ring of Power. Oh my god, it is.
Oh, wow.
It's the Ring of Power.
Permit me to make a suggestion. Rather than follow this flotsam and float away to a watery grave, why not come with me? What do you say?
I am your father. What?
How many children has he fathered?
Who can say? Perhaps Ignis.
Since he's been around for so long. Not Ignis. Yeah, sorry. That's an interesting thought. Because he's just been alive for so long.
You killed my father.
He seems like, he's got a lot of time to
really get busy.
to really get around,
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe like his family is just everybody but Noctis's family, like all 20 other people that live in this world.
I don't know. I hope they do answer the question on how exactly he lost his sight.
Does he wear a ring for the rest of the game?
And now I think I am going to have to actually get the stupid season pass for this stupid game
Yeah.
that I love deeply.
Yeah, I haven't touched any of the episodes yet, but I think it is appropriate for us to do like a run through of all of them. They're only supposed to be like 2 hours long each. So, yeah.
Is that the last one that's going to be out?
Yeah, Ignis is the final one, as far as we know. I mean, they might do.
Just wonder if they're going to do another one past that, or if it's just going to be those 4.
Like an Arden one, or something like that. Episode Arden.
Arden.
Why not?
Yes. That's where you get to birth all the children.
Yeah, it's like a rated X Final Fantasy expansion.
Oh, yeah. I wonder someday porn companies will go in and add DLC to games. It's like Android apps that aren't part of the Play Store that still exist, you know? There's something in there. Get excited for it, guys. That'll be 10 years in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. This is interesting. Final Fantasy XIV is going to do a collaboration event with Final Fantasy XI because of the 15th anniversary. What's interesting is that this thing that's going to be called the Maiden's Rhapsodies, Memories of an Unseen Realm, it's a Final Fantasy XIV thing that'll give you some FF11 stuff for the anniversary of FF11. That's really like, why?
I don't know, because no one plays 11, so they got to put it.
They're like, well, we'll put it in the 14 game.
We did a Final Fantasy 11 event in 14 the first time we played the game as well. Yeah,
it was cool. I think they're giving you the samurai stuff.
Yeah, we got some Mori Roha in there.
Yeah,
she's one of my favorites, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Calling me master all the time. How
so
can
that's
you not?
Cool. You can get part of the FF11 experience in 14 again.
Yeah, you can get the music. I'm sure.
Besides
they'll do
the little
again.
Freaky, creepy people that run around and are like. They look like weird children, and then they're fully voiced adults.
Yeah.
So it's not like a dwarf person or a really short person. They're just children, straight up children that are adults.
It's weird.
It's really weird.
That's why I didn't use them.
And just honestly, it just makes me want to throw up in my mouth.
There you go.
Okay, Final Fantasy Dimensions 2, twice.
Another game we don't have to play.
Another game we don't have to play, but we should probably watch the trailer for.
All right, let's check it out.
Sure.
It's very excited about itself.
The music is already making me so not want to play it.
Final Fantasy Dimensions 2. Morrow. Moody. Amo.
Are these characters from the first one, you know?
I have no clue. Reeg. Journey with me.
Alright. Is it just going to be a list of characters here?
I hope so.
So we're getting some trailer.
We're getting some artwork. Looks FF12-esque. As far as the art style, for sure.
Oh, I don't like the art style of this. I don't like the way that their like bodies float.
Yeah, and they're like just like slightly moving a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, so it's 2D. Side axis, sort of old style pixel.
It's like FF6 sprite
stuff, but it's not FF6 sprite. It's like if FF6 were Legos and then this was Mega Bloks. That's the difference we're seeing here.
This is the cheap knockoff.
Yeah, they're like a little too tall, gross. Gangly. I don't like it.
It looks like a fully turn-based game, though, so it looks like we see a panel on the side showing like whose turn is.
Yeah, I think that's how Dimensions was supposed to be too, right? Like Dimensions was supposed to be like a classic Final Fantasy, but there was a bunch of like pay-to-play download crap that everybody hated on it. I could be getting it mixed up with a different mobile game, and I'm sure someone's going to correct me and piss me off.
I think the guys might be playing Dimension right now, the mobile dudes. And if that's the one they're playing now, then it isn't that bad. So
okay, well, according to your one source,
yeah, one source,
your one source.
So yeah, that's coming. What's the date? Like,
I don't know. I just clicked off.
Okay, well,
who cares? It's mobile. Go check out the date if you're interested. You'll know. Okay, Secret of Mana's 3D remake has an opening movie, and. This is a game we're going to play, right?
Yeah.
Is it the first Mana game?
I think so.
I'm excited because I don't know anything about the Mana games. I've only ever seen them on people's shelves.
Yeah, I know nothing either.
Long ago,
I own 2.
the world prospered and humanity thrived thanks to a power known as mana.
Can we fire this guy?
However, humans soon sought to use mana to create the ultimate weapon,
Fire the train.
a floating battleship called the Mana Fortress. This greedy arrogance angered the gods, who in turn unleashed vicious beasts into the world.
All right, so the counter technology.
A violent war between the mana beasts and the fortress engulfed the world in poison and fire until mana had all but disappeared. In humanity's bleakest hour, a hero wielding the mana sword appeared and destroyed the fortress. The world was left in shambles, and yet humanity persevered, and there was peace throughout the land.
Until now.
But as time passes, so history repeats.
All right, so the sword's in the stone now. Got some Arthurian
And some, what are those pink birds called?
flamingos.
Flamingos.
Yeah.
When I think Arthurian retellings, I do think flamingos.
Yeah, I do too. It's a natural.
Okay, so that's interesting. I didn't know
combo.
anything about the Mana universe, and now I am disappointed. But
But we'll play them anyway.
We will play all the Mana games.
It's like a whole season of our show. Will be.
It will be a whole season.
And
of
if
our
it's
show
and if
that
tactics,
no one is excited for.
if Evilisa's season is anything to go off of, you're gonna have a lot of time to be hanging out with us and our Mana.
World of Final Fantasy PC is coming. I'm not going to play the trailer because this game has already come out.
Yep, November 28th, 2017, guys. If you haven't already picked it up, if you are a PC Master Race kind of guy, it's coming.
Day one edition, there's a pre-order incentive that gives you a copy of the game, a wallpaper with heroes and monsters from the game on it that I'm sure you'll be able to legally download somewhere else, and a digital soundtrack sampler. It's not a complete soundtrack, but a few of the tracks will be on there. So if you want some of the tracks,
yeah,
that'll be fine. Now, this is what I would call the biggest piece of news, the biggest piece of Final Fantasy news
of all time
since the announcement of the FF7 remake and the FF15 re-announcement from Versus 13. I think this is the biggest news we've had in a very long time. And I don't know how... I'm sure people know exactly what we're talking about before we go into this, but I don't know how I feel about this.
I know how I feel.
Okay.
I want to strong arm some fans.
Now, do you want to just tell them?
All right, so apparently Osama bin Laden was an anime fan and he played the Naruto games. Now, a lot of people are anime fans, so it might not be super weird. That is kind of odd that the leader of a terrorist group
he played the Naruto games,
likes anime.
And on his computer, or in his files, he had the movie Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. And I think Resident Evil or something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I don't want to say that all people who like the Final Fantasy movies are terrorists, but we have some proof.
It's not just the movies. It's specifically Final Fantasy VII Advent Children.
And many people would argue that's the best one.
Yes.
I would not, but I am in the minority.
True, yeah.
Of terrorists.
Yeah.
Who like Advent Children. Also, Naruto is really just getting a hit here. Of just being just bad.
Yeah, I've never watched or played any of the Naruto stuff, so
And I'm looking at that frame.
Yeah, it looks pretty lazy. It's like they have eyes, but there's nothing in the eyes. They're just circles.
I don't like the way that picture looks. Anyway, how do you feel about Osama bin Laden being a fan of Final Fantasy VII Advent Children?
Well, I mean, it just goes to show you what kind of people watch the Advent Children. I guess I don't know. Just kidding. I don't know. It's the thing is like he probably had thousands of movies on his hard drive. I mean, it's I don't know. They like the article says that the CIA publicly released nearly 500,000 files recovered from his hard drive. So I mean, the guy has all sorts of shit on there. Lots of video games, anime,
Naruto, Bleach, Dragon Ball, and Devil May Cry, as well.
Yeah, they did a lot of emulation apparently.
Oh, you mean he did illegal stuff?
Yeah, he broke the law. Surprisingly.
Hey guys, this is the type of people who steal games.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
So I mean, it seems like we don't know for sure. I guess from the article if it was him necessarily. It was on his computer, but it could be anybody using his device. Maybe somebody else.
Could be. Could be another terrorist a-hole.
Yeah, it's just like second in command is a big FF fan. You know, maybe that's
could be one of his terrorist sons.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
It's kind of weird, but I guess it's not that crazy. I mean, there have been plenty of like awful people in the past who like did art or like loved music and like were big fans of like
That's
these
true.
other
Honestly,
art things.
Hitler loved Wagner, and so do I.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know.
And like, so it's like it kind of makes sense because if we're gonna look at video games and anime as an art style or like a form of art, which I think they are in their own respect. I think it makes sense for it to be, to have like surprisingly heinous individuals that are interested in it. It makes sense to me. It's kind of weird just because he's like, obviously he was an older dude, and usually there's like an age gap with that where like, like if you're like one of the older nerdy guys, quote unquote, you usually like read comics still and like maybe play a couple games, and D&D is like a big thing, right? But I know a lot of my family members that are that way. They don't really play video games as much. They usually just do like D&D and the older school stuff. So they kind of like stay to what they know. So that part's really weird to me that you'd be into that.
Just because it's a slightly newer generation.
Yeah, it's like a way new.
Yeah,
thing comparatively.
Like if you're an anime fan and you're over the age of like 45,
yeah, it's
unusual.
It's not. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just odd. It's like, how did you get into it?
You had to be into it from Speed Racer.
Yeah, something. Yeah,
at least in the States, like that was the first big one over here, right?
Yeah, I think
someone's gonna correct me and be like, "No, what was this?"
Something, I don't know.
So you would have to like go from Speed Racer and stay.
Yeah.
That's what you would have to do, which seems like a long commitment.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it the most weird, though, is just the age gap. I don't know, it's strange.
Yeah, how old was he?
I'm not sure. He's probably like 60.
His ass.
Yeah, we did what needed to be done.
Bastard.
Yeah, so that's really weird. That's an very odd piece of news, and it kind of caught me off guard. But yeah, it's
very odd.
Guy was a fan.
Do you think he listened to our show?
Since it wasn't around.
Yeah, that's right. the years don't match up. For some odd reason, I was thinking it was like 2 years ago. No, it's been a few.
Yeah.
We were after him for so long. I just assumed it was more recent.
Yeah, he's a big Ultima fan. Yeah, it's a very
time machine.
Very strange piece of news, but
yeah.
I think he was like in his 50s at least.
No, he's older than that.
50, 60, something like that?
Yeah, he was older than that.
Because he does look like a really old dude, but he does have like that fucking beard, so that kind of makes you look old.
At least...
Well, there's the internet right in front of us. We can look.
Yeah, we can look at... he was older than that. By like, I'm pretty sure he had to be in his 70s when we killed him.
He was born in 57.
Oh, so not that old.
Yeah, not quite that old.
60? Yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah, he was
age 54 when he died. He would be older now.
Yeah, so
maybe not. Maybe it's not that unusual.
Maybe.
I thought he was older than that. That's crazy. Okay. Well, thanks for listening to the Osama bin Laden podcast.
Yeah.
Today, guys. Here's something crazy. I have a old segment that we put away. I am ready. I'm ready for this. This is called Tactics, Schweiss, from us to thou.
I don't think it is, but
We'll help you out with some tactics you might need.
All right. So I was having some serious problems with Belias. Belias? What are we going to call him?
Belias, I think.
Belias this week. And unfortunately, your internet just crapped out on me, so now I can't get my tactic you might need back up. And I can't remember who gave this to me right now. And unfortunately, I need the internet in order to. So I'll wait a few minutes before I find out. It wasn't Felicia, but it was a conversation. No, it wasn't. Ah, crap. Sorry, guys. I'll figure it out in a second. Anyway, so I was having problems with Belias. Can you tell me your Belias experience before I get into this? Belias was the second to last boss fight in Chapter 3 of FF Tactics.
Second to last boss fight in Chapter 3.
It was when you had the single guy you had to kill, and then when he went away, then Belias was like summoned. This big.
Are you talking about when you fight your brother?
This big dragony dude. I think so.
When you fight Ygraph?
Ygraph, yeah. Is that your brother? Did I miss that? Great.
You know what? That one was rough. I died to Ygraph, I think, 3 or 4 times, and then I died to...
so Ygraph was rough first.
Belias, I think, once or twice. Maybe.
Right. Okay.
This is the sick fight. This is what everyone says is the hardest fight in the game. But then they also said on the Twitch stream that the other one later on is harder. This is a bitch, though. This is a fucking crazy fight.
Yes. And
is this just you against him, too?
It's you against him by yourselves first. Then you have to cap him off, right?
Yeah,
he dies. Mm. And then Belias and his 3 demons from hell who do insta-kills come summon right after. I was in despair, Schweiss, because I had ground for 2 days. I just grinded. I grinded from level 25 to level 32 with all of my main guys in my party at that point. Now I realize I'm going to be replacing some guys because some new guys came into my party at the end of Chapter 3, which I'm sure will do better than...
Who came?
I can't remember. That was the sister and then the other guy.
I didn't use them.
Okay.
I took her sword, though.
Yeah.
Save the queen.
All right. This is from Matunica. Matunica did this. That's right. Sorry, guys. Was looking at my phone trying to figure out who gave me this information. So this is a tactics that you might need from Matunica, whether or not he submitted this officially. I was just leveling up my guys and trying to get them strong. Just trying to get my monk to a good thing, trying to get everybody else there. Now, midway through this big fight, because you got like 5 fights in a row in this one castle.
Yeah.
I was stuck on this fight. Now, I got messages from Caleb Craig saying, hey, we'll just use the Dragoon that you obviously have on you right now, and that's leveled up all the way, and yada, yada, yada. And you should be able to kill him. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because, Craig was like, just jump, because you're not on the screen when you jump, I assume.
Yeah.
I have not gotten Dragoon. So then I leveled up for many hours on the Thief class that I need in order to get another class in order to get Dragoon. I think it goes Thief to a certain level, Samurai to a certain level, and then you can get the Dragoon. I didn't have any of those classes is leveled on any of my guys at all. You know why? Because Thief, Schweiss, and I said this to Craig, and he got all red-faced and mad about it, I'm sure. But I sent it over text, so I can't confirm this.
Right.
Caleb Craig, I do believe that Thief, with the exception of the Blue Mage, is the least useful main party character in the entire Final Fantasy series, with the notable exception of FF9, where the whole game is based around the Thief class.
Yeah.
Thief is freaking useless. They don't do any damage, and the items that they get, sometimes they can be great on certain bosses, but then you have to have that skill leveled up so much for most of these games in order for to actually be effective at stealing. It's BS.
I would say that FF11's Red Mage is up there for me too.
Oh, I don't know. Me too. I'm not gonna disagree with you on that.
I don't know if that's my experience per se or actuality, but that Red Mage is just a pain in the ass. I couldn't do damage. Couldn't fucking heal.
Okay, we're going.
What are you doing here?
If we're going series wide,
Red Mage isn't that
Red
bad.
Mage is near the bottom.
It's really good in FF1. Like, really good.
It's amazing in FF1.
Yeah.
And horrible in FF11. But I was reading stuff that said it was great in FF11. Red Mage is great if you want to spend your entire life playing FF11 and getting all the crap that you need in order to solo the entire game. He's the only one at one point in the game that could solo FF11 with no trust.
That's pretty sick.
Because of certain abilities he could use, but in order to get those abilities, it was like a 1 in a million chance in some certain things in order to get certain items and stuff. It was crazy when I found out like what it took in order to actually solo. And there's one YouTube channel where a guy solos the entire game as a Red Mage.
Wow.
And I didn't find it until our last month of playing FF11.
Yeah.
All I saw before was a forum post that was like, yeah, you can solo the whole game as the Red Mage.
And so you're like, that's the one.
And I was like, yeah, that's the one, because I don't know how this game is going to turn out. Okay, man, so I did that. This is the tactic. Thank you for the follow. Okay, this is the tactic for Belias. Now, if you've been paying attention to what we've been doing on this show, you've got to grind out your focus ability, and you got to get JP boost, and I'm going to add another one for your month class. Thank you for the follow, guys.
Nice boner you have.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I do have a boner right now.
Yeah.
No, I actually don't. Sorry, Schweiss.
That's okay.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so there's one more thing you need to get, which is Life Front from the monk. So every time you move as a monk,
you get life.
You get a little bit of HP.
Yeah.
And you also have to have auto potion from the squire. Okay, guys? So remember this.
Chemist, but yeah.
Focus, auto potion, life front. Thank you for the... are we getting trolled?
Big black cock? I don't think so. I think it's real.
You think it's real?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll take it.
We'll take the big black cock.
All right. One more recap before someone else freaking puts the follow, and then could you just turn the sound off?
Yeah, I'm killing
We
it.
appreciate any and all follows. Thank you. Auto potion, which is from Chemist.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, if you're playing FF Tactics right now and you haven't gotten to Chapter 3 yet, auto potion from Chemist. Life Front from Monk. You do have to do some grinding in order to open up the Monk class, but it's not that bad. And Monk does a lot of damage, so he's a really good class to have. I say he because I've only put my male characters on him, so sorry.
Well, dudes have more strength in that game. It's a sexist game.
It's a sexist game. That's a straight up sexist game. Okay, and focus, which is also it's like a squire ability.
Yeah, it's Squire,
and then some other guys have focus and others and other crap. It's really easy. And you got to do this for your main dude. You got to do it for not Zidane, but whatever his name is. Ramza. Thank you. It's a Z name. Craig is looking at me just in disgust for the fact that I'm not. Ramza is a Z name. It has a Z in it.
Not very many names have a Z in it, so I think any name with a Z.
Does your name have any Z's in it?
No, it doesn't even
Not even Caleb Farnsworth. Anyway, that's right. So it's a Z name. If a Z is in your name, you have a Z name. No, that's not true. I love having arguments with people you can't hear.
Yeah, it's the best.
Okay. You got to do this all for Ramza.
I would say do it for everybody. At least actually, no, all of it. I would do all of it for everybody.
Okay. So the level up trick, which is our first tactic I want to discuss. Level up trick was the one that Craig told us about and has been very useful in this game. In fact, without it, I think I would have already committed suicide or stopped
So
the
Caleb
show.
saved a life.
Caleb Craig, the most useless man in existence, saved a life. You want to join? You can join. We're talking about tactics. He saved a life. What you do is once you have everybody with the focus, JP boost, and I think that's it.
Auto potion
Abilities. You can pretty much just like kill off most of the guys in a random battle, leave one kind of weak, have all your guys kind of come together, and then just keep doing focus over and over again because focus gives you XP and the JP boost really helps.
Any successful movement or action, any successful action gives you experience.
And focus
JP.
is always successful and doesn't affect another person's HP.
No. Unless you do focus a bunch and then attack, and then it's really bad.
So you get all those things and you can just grind out levels like crazy. Now, it is hella boring, and I just used hella.
Is that a swear?
No.
Okay.
No, hella.
I think you should.
Hella
I think you
is
should
just
tap
a
your
word.
coin jar.
Hella is just a word that I am not hip enough for, and I realized it mid sentence. It's a word made for a person like Gwen Stefani. She would use hella.
So you are not a Gwen Stefani figure.
Yeah, I'm not a Gwen Stefani figure.
Stefani.
That's right. Now, you just keep doing that over and over again. It's super boring. I watched Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, while doing this the other night. Again, I've done this multiple times where I'm just like, I'm not leveled up enough. Everybody's going to do a random battle, stand in a corner, and press focus over and over and over again until I get, 5 levels for everybody. Luckily, in this game, experience does not scale. It is the most forgiving part of this game. Because if experience scaled, I would burn this game. I would put it in a fireplace and just roast it.
Yeah. Would you roast all the other games you hate too, or just this one?
Just this one.
Okay. Those ones you have to shoot.
No, the other ones I have to shoot with shotguns.
Bull.
What I'll probably do with bounty hunters, I'll take the disc, and like you do this with targets. It's gonna hurt some sensitive people out there. But how you take the picture with the deer on it, you put a ketchup packet behind the piece of paper and you try to shoot the deer so that the ketchup packet will explode.
I've never done that.
Never done this?
No, I just killed the deer.
I remember in Boy Scouts, one of us brought a giant picture of Osama bin Laden.
Oh my God.
And we all shot
Speaking
it.
of.
Speaking of Final Fantasy.
Yeah. He was on the show today. I mean, spiritually.
Ugh. No.
Okay, that sounded a little negative.
No. So that's the level up trick. So that's the most important part of this game. Here's the other thing. So you already have those. You already have focus. Now you just need life front for monk, and you got the auto potion turned on. You got X potions in your auto potion slot. That's important. Get those X potions. Don't do high potions in this because the bad guy, the guy that you're freaking fighting, the brother of Ramza, apparently, he does 112 damage on his hits.
Oh, just 112 for you, huh?
For me, yes. And the auto potion brings it up, and the auto potion's a chance thing. It's not every time. Up to 150.
Do you remember me bitching about this?
If he's on the monk class, he can also auto heal without using an EMP, which is really nice, and it doesn't take a second turn, so you use chakra ability as well. I would also get that on your monk.
Monk benefits the most from the focus ability. If you focus a monk since he's an arm, the strength that he gets from that makes him
'Kay.
almost able to one-shot everything.
This is my Tunica's tactic, and it was beautiful. And it saved me. I already actually wasted a bunch of time leveling up, but then I realized I didn't have to do the fights before it again because I could just do this. All you do in that first section of this freaking fight is you run away from him. You just run away from him. And so you get your little life front thing because you moved. And then when he hits you, you get, your stuff will mostly get back with the auto potion. Mm-hmm. And then you just keep using focus over and over and over again until you can stand next to him, target him with attack to see how much you're going to do, which is, for me, 570. I brought my attack up so that I could do 570 damage to him. And I one-shot that mofo. And when Belias came out, 3 shots. And he was dead.
Oh, did you never lose to Belias then?
No, I did.
Oh,
because I was able to kill him. This was before I had that tactic. I was able to kill him and get to the Belias fight and then get destroyed. Horribly maimed.
Dude, I told you about this fight. This is the one where...
This is a beautiful strategy, and I think I'm going to use it for the rest of the game, guys. It's too beautiful. Run around, use focus, just keep your guy alive enough to do that, and then one-shot people. Are you kidding me? This is amazing. This is amazing. Did you know about this, Craig?
Yes.
Yeah.
You did?
Yes.
Accumulate, or it just gets better and better. Yeah.
I didn't know
you
that.
You can also use Tailwind, which increases your movement speed, so you can move.
That was part of Matunica's
pretty much
tactic.
across
I
the
just
entire
didn't have
map
it.
too. So
So that fight, what I ended up doing, that was the one that I was bitching about because the auto potion will automatically use the smallest potion that you have, and at the end of the fight, right before that fight, I got a high potion. So what would happen is, I would get hit by him, and he would drink the high potion instead of the fucking X potion, because I can't go to my menu and, sell off or delete the high potion or anything, because the next fight is just right after that last fight that I got the fucking high potion in. So I would have to, go in. I'd have to make him auto-drink the high potion. I'd have to have a second chance where he auto-drinks the X potion right after, just to make sure I didn't die, because the high potion doesn't give you enough back. No. But what I had to do is I had ninja class on, so I had a 60% chance to deal damage to him from a thrown item. So I'd get in the fight, throw the item at him. He'd come at me. He'd hit me. I'd use the fucking auto or the high potion. I'd have to wait, get hit again. Or no, I'd have to use a turn on me to use the to use the X potion manually, and so that I could get my health back up past where the high potion brought me to, because I was still in a deficit, kind of I can live through 1 hit, but I can't live through 2 hits from the guy. So I'd have to give myself the X potion, and then I attacked him after I got an auto potion X potion off. So it took me 4 or 5, 6 tries, I think, easily to beat him, because I just kept getting it wrong. And then I lost to Belias a couple times after that. But once I killed him the first time, I don't think I died again. It was to him.
My strategy, Matunica's strategy. Something Craig knew about and didn't tell me, and he told me to use a bunch of Dragoons on, which is bull. It was beautiful. It was the most beautiful thing ever, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, Tunica, for not making me redo the fights before this one.
You honestly just
and
should
that
have
fight
figured
was
that out.
a lot harder than the fight after it.
Yeah, that fight is way hard.
Why?
That's the hardest fight in the game. What everybody's saying. Were you saying the rooftop one afterwards?
Rooftop one afterwards.
A lot of people hate that one too, but I had really good RNG.
I had problems for 2 times, and I wasn't reading. I didn't read the thing where it says protect what's his name. I thought it was supposed to kill everybody and protect him, because I just wasn't reading the thing when it popped. It was stupid. And then when I realized it was just protect, I was like, I got to keep him alive, and then he does all the attacks.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's an easy fight.
Yep.
Yeah, you can get really fucked by it though, because they disable you a lot. But I beat it in 1 try. He was 1 turn away from getting killed, and I stopped him from killing him.
Nice.
So I should not have made it. But.
Craig, how much harder is War of the Lions than the original?
They're the same. The only difference for difficulty is that you have to grind more, because you need.
How are they the same?
Well, no, the JP grind.
You need more JP for abilities.
So
for certain abilities.
They just made it longer. It's not harder. Like, it's not a more difficult game. It just takes.
Are we talking about the game right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just takes a little bit more time to get the abilities that you need to succeed in your version,
and harder,
as opposed to mine.
My honestly, guys, I think of hard games as ones that take more time to get crap done because
That's
either
not
one,
difficult,
I
dude.
have to do it over and over again and it takes more time, or two, it just takes a real long time in order to get to a certain point where the game is easy or beatable. I would call that difficulty. Personally, I would call that like number one thing that defines difficulty is how much time it takes. And how much... Come on, dude.
That's not difficult.
Star Wars Bounty Hunter, how much time did you actually put into that game versus what was on your save file is a very important ratio.
Okay, but would you consider the difficulty of the fights harder than the platforming?
No.
Because the platforming is the hard part of the game.
Yeah, it's also the thing that makes you do all the restarts over and over again.
And it's not a difficult game. It's just...
I think you're full of shit.
I think you're insane.
The fights aren't hard.
Oh, yeah. There wasn't the one level with 1 billion dudes that also wasn't hard. That had no...
Okay,
that had
it has
no platforming
shitty
later on.
mechanics, but the actual fighting is not difficult.
I agree with Craig, though. I don't think
the
time
platforming
equals,
is the thing that is what you hate.
I don't think time equals difficulty. I think my platinum for Eco was harder than my platinum for Final Fantasy X. One of those took me probably about 25 hours, and the other one took me 150 hours.
Is it amount of internal frustration?
It's amount of like actual skill that has to go into it. Like I cannot fuck up
he
at
couldn't
all
make a single mistake
in 30 minutes. In a 30-minute scene of me doing 20 minutes of platforming, 10 minutes of combat, no game timer telling me how long I've been playing, and then sprinting across a fucking beach at the end. Like that is difficult. That is perfection. You have to do everything like by the book. Now, if I would have beat Nemesis legitimately, I probably would have had to have done everything by the book as well, but I didn't. So 10's is easy, and 10 has a way to cheat that. 10 has a way to Yojimbo the fuck.
Cheap?
Yeah, to Yojimbo it, to cheap it. But Eco doesn't, because Eco is just, it's more difficult to get. So I think time, I don't think time necessarily equals difficulty, but I guess in a way, if the time is spent like leveling yourself up, like if it was like when we used to play Elder Scrolls Online, you remember when we were under-leveled in some of those dungeons and we would do like 1/4 of the damage we're supposed to, but they would do like triple damage to us?
Yeah.
That, I would say, is difficult because of the time it takes. Because the game is intentionally harder and it makes it scale so much against
it's
you.
intentionally harder because like you do less damage than you should be doing, and they do more damage.
Right, but when I pull up my Final Fantasy X file, where I'm at the end, I'm at the Jekt fight in like 20 hours or like 24 hours or 25, somewhere around there. That's really hard because I'm low leveled, but it's not, I could still beat the guy. I'm not doing a quarter damage to him because the game intentionally is making it harder. I'm just doing less damage because I'm weaker, because I'm speed running it. Right. Even though that's a weak time, I can't beat him.
Should be, so it's difficult.
Yeah, that's the difference here. Is like that is difficulty, but I don't think necessarily time is difficult personally.
And from what you told me, you are like 10 levels under where you should be.
Me?
Yes.
I'm 10 levels under?
You said the enemies you were fighting were like level 32.
Okay,
and
hold on.
And your guys are level 25, which means that you should be around the same level they are.
Craig, I was 25. I leveled up before doing these fights to level 32.
And then you went back and used your other save file.
What I found out, no, I'm sorry. That was before the split. So before I knew that I was going to have 5 fights in a row, I leveled up to, I went on the wiki and looked up on the next fight and saw his level, and I leveled up a couple levels above him. So I leveled from 25 to 32 on Tuesday of this week. That's all I did. And then the next day, I fought to where I could and then kept retrying one of the fights over and over again. It was a pain in the butt. That was my next day. The day after that was me leveling up on a separate save file that was made beforehand and trying to get...
So you leveled up even more?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't level up the first day, did the fights. I'm getting my timeline confused as well. I am on level 30-something in the middle of those things, but I thought I was going to have to do more. Thought I was going to have to go up to Thief, and I started grinding on the Thief stuff. I did that for a few hours as well. It's becoming a blur right now because all it is grinding, and grinding grinds my gears.
Does it? Does it?
It really does.
Have you been waiting for an opportunity to
grinding
just use that?
So much. No, I used it too well on Nude Clan last week.
Oh, yeah?
It's too good. As a James Bond line, yeah, it's too good on Nude Clan. Now, the grinding was just too much. It's just too much to remember what has happened in the game. It's too much. Craig, am I supposed to have been playing this game like, let's just do some random battles and have fun and get my guys up to certain classes?
I don't know. I'm going to find out where I was.
Yes, okay.
You should, basically, when you're playing it, you should there should be classes that you want already. Like you've played games before with job classes, and you know which ones you like.
That's what I started with, and I realized those classes suck.
If you like ninja, or if you like dragoons, or if you like knights, then just go.
Here's
for
the thing: is ninja. You want ninja.
Yeah, you fucking want.
You probably
ninja.
Also want samurai.
Well,
it's not as glass cannon as ninja, but I did dual wield samurai swords, and that is pretty fucking powerful.
It is pretty sweet.
Is it more powerful than monk?
I don't know. I didn't mess with.
I got my two. I got my two beat sticks. One is Ramza. One is one of the random guys I got at the beginning, like Gerardian or something. Gerardio. Anyway, they are my beat stick monks with backup mage abilities just in case. But usually I have them on items so that they can do a Phoenix down instead of waiting for the cure. That's what I got, man. My monks are doing more damage than any of my other classes can. Now, I haven't opened up a bunch of classes because once I found that monk was better than knight, I was sticking with monk. And at the beginning, I thought knight was going to be my beat stick. Now, knight sucks. Knight is a crappy class.
That's not true.
Unless you want to wait 7 turns to get a dude down to a peg. Or
knight with dual wield.
Yeah, knight with dual wield is insane. Plus, they can shatter people's stuff.
I don't fuck with that because I hate it so much when it happens to me.
Is dual wield a knight ability?
No, it's a ninja ability.
No, it's a ninja ability.
And I knew it was. That's why I got ninja.
How did you know this?
Because I fucking looked it up.
I did not.
He did the thing that I told him to do, which is something I told you to do.
Because I wanted to beat the goddamn game. That's why.
Gosh, I was having such a good round of games where I wasn't looking up any guides.
This one's, it's not a guide. It's more of like a job unlock guide.
Because when I'm playing a game and I have to have the guide next to me for like 95% of my experience, that's not a good game experience for me.
See, this was for just the jobs.
Yeah, it's not like
because you have to have certain jobs at certain levels.
But also you need this dictionary next to you.
Well, not everybody remembers what you need to unlock all the job classes like I do.
Because, I mean, it would be terrible for the game
to have
normal. Like a little chart that instead of this circular BS, like a little chart that says this goes into like a Diablo skills chart. Like, would that be horrible? Square?
It's a little late now.
Of Tactics to do that. Like, why do I have to look this crap up?
I think it's also in the little pamphlet you have.
It's also, you're meant to just play the game and have fun. Like, I think that's the thing that we're missing is like we're trying to play it to finish it. And we're not doing that exploration of classes kind of a thing. And it does say that in the, I think there's a part in the tutorial, if you were to look, that tells you how to unlock other classes. It's like
you just tell me looking at tutorial?
I'm just saying the game has the info there for you.
I'm telling you to go die.
As soon as you had trouble, I was like, dude, you should look at the tutorial.
It's got a good tutorial on it.
It does. It's very educational.
Good toot. Good toot.
Why do you love this game so much, Craig?
because it's great.
Here's the thing. I know Schweiss is going to give this a good review. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to give it chapter 4 to now. We are playing different versions though, and you told me that my version was the best version. Do you why? Why is Lord of the Lions the best version?
More shit to do. And a better translation.
A better translation?
Yeah.
How bad is the translation in the other version?
It's not that bad.
So it's not really...
Just because the language is flowery doesn't mean it's better. I would like to say that first.
Okay, so it clarifies things more for certain characters where, like, they'll say something in the original and then, like, their meaning isn't really... It doesn't really get through. Or certain things like that where, like, there's just, like, a mistranslation for the original version, whereas they, like, really bring out what it's supposed to mean in War of the Lions.
Okay. But how about all that passive voice?
I don't mind
and
it.
All the characters talk the same. I call that bad writing.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
They don't all talk the same.
And I'm a bad writer, so I know what I'm talking about.
They don't all talk the same. I don't know what you're talking about.
Talketh the self, they do the same, it doth be that...
Oh, you mean they all speak in a Shakespearean type thing, which is what it's supposed to be?
17, and he's talking the same way as everybody else. It's insane.
Because he's educated, just like everybody else.
And thus I say to thee that thine characters, just because thou hast thine vocabulary, that thou mustn't use it in the exact same cadence as I. Craig.
Yeah. I don't think you know how to...
I can't speak that way naturally, no. You're right. I can't do it. Can you? Go ahead.
No, I can't.
Okay, all right.
But I don't need to.
Anyway, I don't like the passive voice thing. It really is. It's really just a lot. It's a lot, and yet so little at the same time. We'll get into it.
Maybe you should have played the original version.
I think maybe I should have.
I don't mind it.
It's a little dumbed down for you.
I don't mind it at all. I didn't think it was that difficult. Like there were a couple fights that trashed me, like the fight against Graf was brutal.
Yeah.
And the rooftop fight was stressful, but I never lost, so that one wasn't that brutal. Gafgarian was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, he's a dick.
But I don't know that, and then like
How do you only have 27 hours?
I don't know, dude. That's the question. Because how long to beat has it at 38?
That's insane. Anyway,
I'm a professional. What can I say?
let's answer a question, and let's do an iTunes review, and we'll wrap this baby up.
All right, let's dive on in.
Questions for us. We would like to hear from you. To moments. Contact us on Twitter. Get on and ask your questions. We'll answer them in a week. This is the question segment. Ask and you will receive.
We got 2 questions from Shinru this week, so thank you, Shinru, for submitting a bunch of questions. Really appreciate it. What popular celebs would make you surprised if you discovered they are FF fans? So what?
Osama bin Laden. That's going to be my first answer.
A celeb?
Yeah, he's celebrity
Oh,
status.
jeez.
In infamy, right?
Infamy.
He says, let's say during a random interview, Dave Mustaine mentions he's always played the FF series and
that
has
would not surprise me.
beat all the
that
games.
much, because he's in a band. They got to be on the bus all the time. Like video games is pretty.
I bet you Dave Ellefson probably games.
If Dave Ellison does look like he would probably be playing some
Yeah.
Nintendo, at least
Yeah.
back in the day.
Or if David Fincher is seen in public with an FF6 shirt and talks about how he discovered the game back in the 90s and it's the only game series he plays now. in
I
his free
would
time.
not buy that. I don't think he has a video game.
I don't think he knows
console.
what they are. Which celeb / famous person, there you go, Bin Laden counts, would surprise you the most if they turned up being FF fans. Who do you wish was a secret unknown FF fan? Anyone from Metallica? It's a very strange question.
I would be surprised if Lars was a fan.
I wouldn't.
Really?
Out of all of them,
I think
he'd be the one.
he's the one that's too busy to play games.
That's because he's trying to learn how to play the drums.
He's not trying to learn how to play the drums. He's a businessman.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. He's the business guy of Metallica. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the Dyer's Eve track be played before?
No.
Not that he's played it since they recorded it.
Yeah. Didn't they play that once? Like one time they played
No, they've
Dyer's
played
Eve
it
live?
they've played it a few times since, but he doesn't play it like he did on the record. Live, he doesn't do it that
Can't
way.
do it.
I don't think you can do it because that's like double bass and then a bunch of double bass triplets over and over again that are like crazy. Now they aren't so like there's some newer drummers like the Lamb of God drummer. They could probably do that type of stuff. They do that type of stuff on their songs just the whole time. But for being an older band, it is quite unusual for that type of crazy drumming.
Oh yeah, Roxo mentions they finally played Spit Out the Bone live. Yeah,
Yeah,
in
I
like
saw that.
England. I was
Yeah.
like, fuck that.
This is welcome to the Ultimate Metallica podcast.
Yeah, we bring it back to that again.
Yeah, we do.
I would be least surprised if it was him out of the band because I don't see the other. No,
I
maybe
could see Kirk.
I could see Kirk.
I
doing
could
it
see
too.
Kirk. I might even see Rob.
I bet you
doing
Kirk
it.
would play D&D.
I cannot
though.
see James playing Final Fantasy.
You know, James is basically your dad, so I can't either.
My dad?
Yeah, he's just like this, like kind
No, James is his mom.
of like a jerk dude, but he's really funny. Yeah, he's like your dad.
Okay.
He seems like he would do normal human being things and not like weird nerdy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he would.
Yeah. He hunts and like rides horses. and
Yeah,
shit.
like he's like does manly stuff.
yeah. we do boy stuff
He
here.
does manly stuff and then like turns his nose up when I'm playing a video game for like 20 minutes.
Makes fun of
Like,
you.
I'm
He's like,
playing
what
all
are
there.
you gay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see James Hetfield as that type
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. I would be least surprised by Kirk for going Metallica.
Yeah, he seems like he'd be the guy to do it.
So the least likely person on earth that I think would ever be an FF fan would be Oprah Winfrey.
I'm going to go...
I'll give you that.
What about Whoopi Goldberg?
But I would not be surprised if it were her boyfriend.
What about Clint Eastwood?
don't know who that
Clint
is.
Eastwood would
I can't
be...
remember his name. He's
Clint
weird.
Eastwood would be a surprise. Because he's also way too
Clint
busy.
Eastwood would be a giant surprise. I'm not sure if it'd be
It would be-
more
it would be
surprising than
awesome,
Oprah Winfrey. So I don't know who's more surprising, Clint Eastwood or Oprah Winfrey to be the least likely person to play FF.
Probably Clint Eastwood, I would say.
George Bush Sr. would be way unlikely,
That would be funny.
But his son.
but George Bush,
That's all he does.
I don't know. I bet he played that like the first one on the NES.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Martha Stewart. Dr. Roxo. Yeah, that'd be a good one.
I don't know. She had a lot of time in that house arrest.
Yeah, that's true.
Games played.
That is true. I don't know. It's a very odd question. I think anybody is honestly would be the answer. Anybody famous, like to find out that they're a big fan of something. Like when I saw that.
well, not
that I would
all
be
of
most
them.
surprised by. There are some that I would be least surprised by. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Pratt played Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
or-
surprised by that. And Terry Crews likes to play video games.
or like
too.
anybody from the group of friends, like the 40-year-old virgin guys, like anyone that's friends with
Any
those
one of those
people, they all
guys.
do it.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Seth Rogen plays games.
Yeah, and
Pretty
and
and it wouldn't be a huge leap to
James
think that
Franco,
they might
obviously.
have played a Final Fantasy at some point.
yeah, those guys, Elijah Wood.
But as
like-
far as least, I'm going with Oprah Winfrey. I think that's a solid. She has never
Shock
touched
value.
Final Fantasy.
I'm gonna have to tweet her and ask. It's been a while, but Oprah and I go back.
She'll
Yeah.
do a Oprah Winfrey.
It's one of her
game
favorite
club.
things.
Yeah. She's like, you get a Final Fantasy, and you get a Final Fantasy,
Everyone here gets a Final Fantasy.
but you have to give them away.
Oh, how about the least likely person in the English voice cast for Kingsglaive to play Final Fantasy.
Ray Chase.
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean is definitely the least likely person to have played Final Fantasy.
That's true. In the interviews I watched, I was like, he has no idea what this is. And it hurts, but he has no clue. He doesn't know what he's doing.
That's the only one you could say for sure.
Yeah,
has no idea.
Lena Headey, she looked a little cringy about this too.
Yeah, that's true.
But who is least likely between Lena Headey and Sean Bean?
Totally Sean Bean.
Sean Bean.
Easy.
Honestly, the other guy, the Breaking Bad guy, I could see him have played an old school Final Fantasy. He probably played FF7.
Probably.
Yeah.
But Sean Bean versus Lena Headey, I think Sean Bean is
the clear winner.
Actually, no, I think barely, because they both looked a little bit like, what is this? I think Sean Bean is probably the least likely of them. He probably is also the least likely to have actually watched the movie after doing the voice acting work. I'm sure there are some listeners that are really pissed off at our attitudes right now. Just think about it. Just think about it twice.
They have no choice but to agree.
Well, I mean, if they legitimately think that Sean Bean would have played a Final Fantasy, then they can be as mad as they want because they're crazy. They can't be trusted.
He played 15 all the way.
Yeah, front to back, 100%. Got the platinum. That's the only platinum Sean Bean has.
We just look up his profile now, see if he has one.
Sean Bean, 69.
Chancellor of Germany. What's her face?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, she would be
the blonde
really
lady?
unlikely to play Final Fantasy. Yeah, the blonde lady.
Oh, yeah.
The German Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Hillary Clinton.
I wonder, what about Putin?
Putin probably loves
Putin
it.
games.
Yeah.
Putin games?
Oh, yeah. You can't just hunt. I mean, there's only so much you could do out there.
So who would be more likely to play Final Fantasy, Putin or Trump?
Putin.
I would say Putin too,
Putin,
probably. Just barely though. If you heard it was a great game, I mean, nobody knows who knows what would happen.
Trump wouldn't be able to beat it. And
Yeah, I don't think Trump would play it. I think he would have someone else play it. And
He would
then
just
tell
rage.
him their opinion.
He
and
would
then
just
he would
rage.
just say the same thing. Whatever
just,
whatever the Fox News review of Final Fantasy VII
I know more
was.
about Final
get that
Fantasy than anyone.
Bill O'Reilly review of FF7.
Oh my gosh.
He'll go for it. Or he'll just like rage tweet Square Enix. He'll be like, your shit, your product's trash.
This is Final Fantasy 1. It's garbage.
Craig, you haven't brought up a celebrity.
I said Lars.
Oh, I said Lars Ulrich. Okay. Well, who would be least likely to play? Who would be the least, in your mind, the least likely person to have ever picked up a Final Fantasy game, let alone be a fan? The least likely person you have ever heard.
Maybe Lewis Black, the comedian.
I don't know who that is. So.
Yeah, I couldn't see that.
Yeah, that guy just does not seem like he would do any of that.
So Abrac answered. He said Dolly Parton, Robert De Niro.
Dolly Parton's a pretty far one.
Nick Offerman, Jeff Foxworthy.
Nick Offerman seems
Actually,
like he games.
I could see Dolly Parton in a grandmotherly role.
Like helping her out. Like, let me
Like
help
being
you
like,
with that
I'll
boss fight.
Play with the kid for a second and like pick up the game.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro, I definitely don't see him doing that. So I could
know.
agree with it. Robert De Niro, Nick Offerman, I believe probably.
I feel like Robert
Probably
De
would give
Niro
it a
and Nick
chance.
Offerman would game. I feel like both of them would game.
I think they would do it for the kid's sake. Maybe it would be pushed to. I'm thinking of my father in this situation. That's what I'm like. What would it take to have him actually pick up a game console controller? The answer: a lot.
All right.
It would take a lot.
Ron White, Daniel Day-Lewis, Nicole Kidman in that order.
Yeah, Ron White.
I think Daniel Day-Lewis should probably be close.
Those
to
are
the
all
top.
very unlikely people to play Final Fantasy. These are good
Yeah.
answers.
He's too busy being other people very well to worry about that gaming.
Yeah.
Unless you put him in a game, like in a movie as a gamer role, and then he would play the fuck out of him
Well,
just to get
both
into
Daniel
it.
Day-Lewis and Robert De Niro. But here's the thing: Daniel Day-Lewis is quitting acting.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
it's a sad day.
Why? What was his last movie?
He's going to be a cobbler.
What?
It's a shoemaker, guys.
Yeah, no, I know what it is.
but like,
Okay.
why?
Where and why?
I guess it's a hobby that
I want to be a cobbler as my last
I'm
role.
not kidding. You can Google this.
No, he wants to be a cobbler because he's going to be playing a cobbler. That's probably what it is. He says he's quitting.
No,
he's going to be playing a cobbler who used to act in a movie.
He's legitimately quitting acting.
It's going to come out
just
in like
to make
5
shoes.
years. That's insane.
Wait, no, he's legitimately becoming a cobbler?
Yes.
Oh, I thought his last role was going to be a cobbler.
No,
That's terrible.
No, he's legitimately becoming like my father is a saddle maker now, which is just a weird life experience for me. It's Daniel Day-Lewis is now a cobbler, or will be soon. I think he's working on his last movie with Paul Thomas Anderson.
That's
who he's been in every movie with.
No,
why
not at all.
Daniel Day-Lewis? Just answer me that. Why?
He has answers. I think it has to do with like he goes too deep into the roles. It's just emotionally hard for him, and also
Try
he doesn't
not
like
doing that.
But he won't be as
see
good
how you are.
and he doesn't like Hollywood. He likes he likes making things with his hands as opposed to playing roles. So one of the greatest actors of all time is quitting acting in his late 50s or something. I don't know. It's sad. Robert De Niro's still going.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't you see Grandpa's Boy?
Or Bad Grandpa or whatever. Dude, that movie was such trash. I can't believe you and I watched that.
I laughed at the dick on the pillow. I laughed really hard.
That was the
out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and scary.
That was the one shock joke that was funny because they were all shock jokes.
That movie was really bad. Like
Yeah.
when I heard how bad the movie was, it actually was that bad.
Yeah,
It was that bad.
Maybe worse.
And our last question here. This is a great question for UFF. It was definitely in the Ultima Final Fantasy section of the forums under questions for the show. Schweiss, you want to give us this question from Shinra?
Yeah, it's will the clan be playing Mario Odyssey and Zelda Breath of the Wild? The two highest rated games of 2017 that are already being called Game of the Year. Super Mario Odyssey, 97 Metacritic. Zelda Breath of the Wild, 97 Metacritic. No game Nude Clan has played this year has come close to the quality of these two games, which have been receiving rave reviews. I highly recommend you guys check out Super Mario Odyssey. It's a lot of fun and a must play.
That's not true because we did play Persona 5. It has a 94 on Metacritic, but still.
Yeah, Abrax says that too. Also, Metal Gear Solid, one of the greatest games of that generation. Doesn't come close. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, will Nude Clan play these games? Is a good question for Ultima Final Fantasy to have.
I don't think we will.
Well, if somebody donates a Switch, maybe. But other than that, it's going to be some time.
That's the big reason why I don't think we will, is because no one has a Switch.
Yeah, I only have a Wii U, and that's the only way that one of us can play
and I can't,
Breath of the Wild.
I can't justify buying anything for the Wii U.
So two of us need a Switch.
Yeah, at least two of us would need a Switch. And I'm not willing to buy one.
So that's $600.
Two of us would need a Switch for
to buy
Mario.
one.
One of us would need a Switch or a Wii U for Breath of the Wild.
I know that might sound crazy, and they might be excellent games, and I might be completely wrong in not buying a Switch, but I just don't want to shell out that kind of money.
Well, those are the only two games that are out for the Switch. So,
yeah,
there you go.
Literally the only two
Even
games.
Caleb is
the only two games that are even remotely worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to play them. There's no question about that. I really want to play Breath of the Wild. But just don't, I don't have a Switch.
And you know what? I'll say this.
Also,
I've played a little bit of Breath of the Wild, and that fucking weapon deterioration mechanic deserves a lot more than just minus 3% for its score. So
Caleb hates
fuck
everything
that.
Is what this
Fuck
is.
that.
Like that Adam Ruins Everything YouTube channel. It's just Caleb hates everything. We should do one.
I could do
There's
that.
got to be
I do hate
another
a lot of
channel
things.
that ruins the Adam Ruins videos.
I would
Like
be.
there's got to be a channel that also corrects him.
It would be doable. I did watch one about taxes, and I'm like,
You're a little bit.
I'm like, you really trust people you shouldn't trust. Like, well, why not just have them do it all for us? I'm like, well, because they're evil. They want our money, and you want them to be the ones who control how much we're getting.
There's
and
just there are some things he's cherry
crazy.
picking on
Yeah.
some of the
Oh, yeah,
information.
yeah. Definitely.
And I'm like, Adam ruins everything. It's like, Adam ruins...
Some
Adam entertains
things.
some people, and then it just kind of makes other people squeamish.
No, I know. And he's like,
misinformation.
he's like, other countries do it all the time. I'm like, yeah, the ones where you pay 40% of your income to taxes. And that's a great example. Thank you.
Hey, we went to what? Wasn't there a revolt for a 3% tax on?
It was without representation, though.
Yeah,
Now we're represented as we're getting destroyed
that's true.
financially. So it's better.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
But no, it is cherry picky. So we should do a Caleb ruins, Adam ruins. And like get him
I
to
don't
do
trust Caleb. Either Caleb to ruin Adam's ruins, frankly.
Oh, come on.
Why's that, Joe?
I'm just, I wouldn't trust myself with that either. Frankly. Yeah.
Well, I'm insulted that I am put at the same level as you with your trust.
I didn't say you were put at the same level.
It's the level.
sorry.
It's a level of not
He
reaching
has
trust.
more trust in us than himself.
It's a level of there needs to be someone who's a little bit less fallible. We say things wrong here all the time.
That is true.
Untrue. I never say anything wrong.
Listeners, please find corrections for Caleb Craig.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got one iTunes review, and then we'll go on to the next.
iTunes reviews.
You know what the funny thing is we totally read this one, so we don't have one.
Oh, we read this one?
Yeah, I did the Stallone voice, remember?
Wait, click on it.
It's the fucking one from last week.
Are you serious?
Yeah, look.
Uh,
Think Sly Stallone.
Oh, crap.
So we don't have a review.
Never mind. Oh, man. You know what that means, Twice.
Play the other song.
We did have two from last time, though.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't make up for it. We have no reviews this week. Guys, we need reviews. We can't do the show without them.
It's true. It's true.
So every
We
time we
can't
don't
do
have,
this.
every time we don't have a review, this is what happens. So think about it. Those people haven't given reviews yet. This is you.
We know there are a lot of you, too. We know that.
Just gonna sit back.
Did you just make this song knowing it'd be the most annoying thing on the planet? Okay.
You mean Ozzy made this song?
Yeah. Well, you remade it, sort of.
I did the answer.
How high was Ozzy when he made this song?
Is this on the screen before me?
You should have been on those a lot earlier
I
then.
don't think very many drugs. Also, you're coming in way louder than I am.
No reviews from you.
Closer than mine.
to me.
You have to listen to the song. Right? This is their punishment.
The punishment is listening to us mindlessly drone on while the song is going on.
Shows no new episodes.
I don't know.
No
I feel like you lost half of the viewers on Twitch because of this song.
up for the show.
Hopefully they're going.
Yeah, they're signing up for an account.
God, iTunes used to be not the only place for this. You even check Stitcher? Google Play needs to add review. Hear that one Google employee?
Yeah, the one Google employee that's
Got
only
an-
putting
got an
clean
idea for
versions
you.
of Godsmack CDs on their freaking music store. Anyway,
They only have the clean versions?
here's the crazy thing. There is a function in Google Play where you can take the music that you have on your computer and bring it over into Google. Now, they don't, if they have the song already, which is I think how this works, they don't download, because otherwise they have to download it from your computer. If they have the song in their database already, they don't do that. So I have albums marked as clean, because at some point I was a teenager living under my mom who only wanted to hear. So I have Saint Anger from Metallica clean. And there are some albums that I have that are not clean. And I found one day that my Stone Sour album that was clean was suddenly not clean when I was listening in the car. And the Stone Sour album that was not clean was suddenly censored in the car. And I know which one's which, damn it. It's not Crazy's talk. Whatever thing they're doing at Google Music is driving me insane with this. Because sometimes I'm like, well, let's find out if this song is censored or not. I can't remember.
What if it's only Joe this is happening to?
I don't know.
Well, it might be only Joe that actually did the service where he rips all his CDs onto his computer and then has it through Google Play so I can listen to my stuff on my Bluetooth and not have to carry around CDs, which is nice. It's a nice function. So I might be the only one. I might be one of the last few people who are actually using this service, but it is free though. The Amazon one's not.
I did that with a few CDs.
You did the Amazon one?
No, the Google one.
The Amazon one's free if it's your music.
If you have Prime. Yeah,
So you have to pay for Prime. Yeah, you
No,
have to pay
I
for
already have
Prime for
Prime,
pretty
I
much
guess.
any of their services.
Oh, well, I guess I just count that because I pay for Prime every year.
Okay. Speaking of Final Fantasy, let's add this.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, follow us on ultimatefinalfantasy.com. Tweet me at Joseph Vigolier.
Me at Obsidian Bar.
Me at UFF
You think
Podcast.
you could just come in here and plug?
Get your questions and reviews for Tactics in by next week. I don't think it'll happen, but Joe does, and he's the one that needs to beat it. So
It'll be 2
We'll
weeks.
see.
Well, it might be 4, according to the math.
Yeah. Enjoy the FF grind.